Hey everyone, welcome back to Buick Outdoors. If you're new here, my name is Sheldon Marion, and on today's video, I'm going to be showing you how you can double your battery power on your holiday trailer by adding a second 12-volt battery. So first things first, we're going to disconnect our main power supply. So now that we have our power supply disconnected, what I'm going to be doing now is I'm just going to take off our propane bottles just to make a little bit more room to get after the batteries here. So I'll simply take the cover off, make sure your bottles are closed, disconnect both sides. If you see a little puff like that, there's just a little bit of gas left in your lines. It's not a big deal there. I'll loosen off this clamp. Turn it so you're able to get your handle out. And simply just remove your propane tanks. Alright, now that we got our propane bottles out of the way, what we can work on next is our old battery. And to take this off, you have your little strap here. Pull this up. Pull that out of the way. Open up the top. Now with the top removed, here you have your positive and your negative. I take the positive off first, that way the battery is still grounded. Then I like to put the nut back on there just so you don't lose it. And take off the negative. Now that we have the battery disconnected, we'll pull the battery out. Now on the inside, there's going to be self-tapping screws that go through your plastic battery box and onto the battery box frame. So now we just have to remove those 2 to 4 screws, and then we'll prep our battery box for the next one. Alright, so now that we have all of the screws removed from our box, we can simply move it over and then kind of prep the other side for the second box to go in. And you can measure it out so it's perfect, but to be honest with you, as long as it's fairly close, it doesn't really matter. So all I'm going to do, pick this one up, move it over, and you want to make sure that your strap stays underneath the box there. That way it holds the lid down to your box. Now here's our new one. Take that. Again, strap is underneath. I'm gonna put it in somewhere like that. Right here, there's a bar right in the middle. So I'm just lining up the handles to that bar. And then basically I'm going to take the drill, and I have self-tapping metal screws, and I'll put one probably in each corner. too. Alright, so now we have our boxes drilled into place here and installed. We'll go over to the truck and I'll give you a rundown of the batteries that we're replacing it with. Alright there guys, so now we are on to our battery section here. One thing that we should mention here, and I should have said it at the start, is that these are group 24 batteries. So the boxes that I have are group 24 boxes. These 24 boxes, they'll fit one group 24 battery or two 6-volt batteries. If you're wanting to get a group 27 battery, which is slightly bigger, you need a bigger battery box. So make sure you don't make that mistake. Now moving on to the batteries, you can use any old 12-volt vehicle battery, but they're not designed the same way that these ones are for RVs and for boats. A truck battery is meant to kind of stay charged, and you're using it for the cold cranking amps to start your motor and to run some electronics, and that's it. And they're also not designed to be drawn real low and then charged back up multiple times, where these ones, they are designed for that. They cost a bit more money. I think these are about $210 a piece, so this is $400 right here. And then the boxes, they're cheap, they're 20 bucks kind of a thing. But with these ones here, they're gonna last a lot longer than just a regular truck battery. They're designed for it. And also, when you're replacing batteries, it's best to use the same battery. I could have just bought one because my holiday trailer, of course, came with a battery, but when I'm replacing them, I'm going to replace it with two of the same battery. That way we don't run into any issues at all. They both have the same amp hours, they have the same voltage, everything's the same. So now what we'll do is we'll pack these over, we'll put them into the boxes, we'll connect the batteries together, then we'll put the power to the main battery, and we'll be off to the races. Alright, so now that we have our batteries put in here, I'm going to grab our ground from, so when we pulled the battery off, we only had one battery. We had the positive and negative on one battery. When you're doing this way, your positive goes onto your first battery, your negative comes off of the second battery. That way it draws through the whole battery bank system. So we'll put our ground on there. We'll grab one of our new cables. Black is for the ground. This one we'll put on there and just loosely put one of our screws on, or nuts on, just to kind of hold into place. And this comes over here to our first battery. Just kind of loosely put that on there so it's kind of finger tight. Now what we're going to need to do, we're going to take our other extension cable here. We're going to go from the positive on the second battery to the positive on the first battery. So again, put it on there. Put your nut on there, kind of finger tight. Now we're going to take this one, put it onto our first battery here. And we're also going to take our main power supply to the trailer and put it on here as well. So that one on. Take our nut. There we go. Now what we'll do, go around with a little crescent wrench and we'll just tighten everything up here. There we go. So now we got everything tightened up here. We'll put our lids back on. put on our propane, plug her in, let her charge up, and then we'll just test everything out. Alrighty guys, well, we've had it plugged in here for a little bit, so the battery should be getting charged up. We'll try her out here. That one works. So that works. Which button is it here? Entryway. That light came on. So yeah, I don't need to test it any more than that to know that the batteries are charged up enough to turn on my little LED lights there. I don't want to draw the batteries too hard right now because it's not fully charged, so I don't want to be opening the awning or pushing up the slide or anything like that. But yeah, if you guys are wanting me to do a full rundown of this holiday trailer, just leave a comment below, and then while we're out at bear camp, I'll make sure to get that video up for you guys. Just for a reference, it's a Coachman Apex 287BH SS. So if you want to look into it, or if you just want me to do a video, I'll gladly make a video. I have a week of work left here, and then I'm taking a week off, and with my schedule, when I take a week off, I get 3 weeks off. So yeah, starting middle of May, we'll be out hunting, camping, and cooking for about 21 days, and you guys will be coming along for the ride. Anyways, I hope you liked this video. If you did, hit that little like button, subscribe to the channel, and you know, leave a comment below too. We'll catch you on the next one.